Good morning and welcome to the Moopsyverse, where Chris and I discuss the weather.
Well, the weather discusses us, to be honest,
Oh, the weather
over
doesn't
here.
care. The weather's in charge. The weather is a giant bully going, ha 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 ha. You can't do anything to me, and I can do all of this to you. Ha 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 ha. Good
Well,
morning,
that's not
Saf.
entirely true. The climate change is our doing. It's just not intentional doing.
Weather and climate aren't the same thing. I'm
Well,
not saying.
weather is caused by climate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
So the,
we've
the weather
affected.
doesn't understand that, though. The weather thinks it's in charge. The climate's sitting there going, yeah, right. Yeah, and I'll get you all one of these days. Climate works on a really slow schedule. Weather's like now.
Just trying to figure out what have we done historically to the sun that is trying to burn us to death. But
Actually, I
can't
was.
find any historical records of us affecting the sun
No,
directly.
it's very hard for us to do anything to the sun. I just was seeing an interesting article called Baked Earth, which is on.
Very
Uh,
apt description.
yeah, no, it was a heat wave that occurred at or about the Great Die-Off, so like 2 billion years ago. And they don't.
Very recently.
Yeah, well, relatively recently. I mean, like, well, the Earth is only middle aged now, so Youth was in its teenage spell, got really into the sauna, and, Earth got toasty. It all
What do
works
they
out in
say
the
about
end.
that? Yeah, but whether we're still in it
Oh, no,
can
no,
be a
no, that,
question of working out. That's
yeah, it may not
another
work
thing.
out for us, but for the planet will recover. We're ancillary.
Yeah,
We're collateral damage. We've only been around a couple million years at best. Earth has been around 4 billion years. It could not care
we've been
less about
only
us.
we've been only affecting the Earth for like 200 years, really,
Yep.
since
Which
industrialization has happened.
which means we can unaffect it too if we so choose,
Yeah, we'll just
or if we kill ourselves. Not that kind of kill ourselves. No, I'm not saying that kind of thing. If on a planetary basis humanity wipes itself out, well, the Earth will figure it out. It'll cleanse itself. God, this is cheerful for first thing in the morning. Let's go shoot things.
if you insist.
There are theories that other human or human-like civilizations lived before us. Um,
Theories more like fantasies.
well, there were definitely other human civilizations before us, no doubt about that, but they were still human, part of this lineage. So, if you go back and read, like, about Tebekli Gepe? Gobekli Tepe, that was it, and there's another
Exactly.
one. Something else in that same region, which are civilizations that existed prior to what they thought civilizations existed as. Because there's always been this theory that we didn't have a civilization, i.e., a culture that was based in cities until we got to the hunter farmer stage, where we need to plunk ourselves down and do some
We knew that
harvesting and
humans
planting.
already. Yeah, we knew already that the humanity has created groups.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, no doubt.
we
It's
were we were a thing. We just weren't. Hmm,
well,
we thought we weren't as organized as Göbekli Tepe
and
suggests we were.
apparently we have been for a little bit longer than anybody figured, like by 10,000 years. So that's really interesting. And I've been reading recently about the presence of humans in North America way the heck earlier than I ever assumed they were there. And same in South America. And they're assuming because the South Americans natives and North American natives don't have a lot of genetic crossover, that one may have come across the Bering Sea Bridge, that occurred
Yep.
during one of the ice ages. But they think that South America got populated by people coming over from Polynesia, which is a heck of a feat if that happened.
Well, I've heard about an experiment that was conducted recently by a group of sailors and scientists, more like paddlers and scientists, because they built themselves a boat out of a tree trunk in a way that people from like the Stone Age would have carved it
Mm-hmm.
by just chisels and like rocks and like axes made out of just sharpened
Yep.
rocks, and stuff. And they did only that. They used only those kinds of materials plus, some paddles, and they were able to navigate from continental India to some of the islands
Makes
that
perfect
have
sense to
very
me.
yeah, and that was like took them only 3 days, and they were only navigating the stars, and they had no navigation outside of stars. So they had like the best people who navigated the waters
Mm-hmm.
and the best paddlers in it, and they managed to navigate this in 3 days. And it was like, yeah, well, okay, so maybe not only the ice bridges, but also some rudimentary sails,
Yeah.
that people already like incorporated that. And I think it's incredible to learn about that. What we are capable of, even when we think we were primitive, we still were able to do a lot of impressive stuff.
Well, I go back to the theory that people went from Polynesia to South America, which going across the Pacific Ocean, there's not a lot of places to stop and refuel on the way, which is just a phenomenal thing for anybody to do, whether it's our modern culture or primitive culture. It's just incredible AF. So yeah, for anyone who says, well, 10,000 years ago people were stupid and less intelligent than they are now, or even 100,000 years ago.
IQ levels were likely very much the same
Yeah.
variance. It's just like the complexity of our human society was just different. But you can say the same like to people living, I don't know, 300 years ago in the countryside. They would not have had the comprehension, but if you would get them accustomed to certain things, they would be able to figure it out. And like,
They figured
if we
out a
think
lot of
like,
stuff.
yeah, I mean, honestly, if you gave enough time and run into less superstitious people, like in like 1500s, and showed them a mobile
Oh,
phone,
I
they
thought
would
you were talking
figure
about
out how
modern
to
day
use it.
superstitious people. Okay, go ahead.
No, 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 no,
Because
no.
there are.
If you went back in time and took like a mobile phone with yourselves, of course it wouldn't connect to cellular, but like, you could still do a lot of things like make pictures and play games and like show them a calculator. They after like the initial shock and potential superstition, if they weren't people of power that would put you into a stake, uh, they would be able to figure it out, and
Yeah.
they would be able to use it at some point. It's not like we were, oh my god, it's technology, we are too stupid to understand it. No, there is a comprehension. You see patterns. You start to recognize that this is just something, a device that responds to you. It's like
Mhm.
it's like showing a mobile phone for the first time to a child that is like 3 years old or something like it. It's at first it's just like entertaining, then it's what the hell is it, and then it's starting to like, oh, this repeats, so there's a pattern here. Like the human intelligence is still fully capable of figuring stuff out, and I think we have not been given ourselves enough credit historically speaking.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
look at the ancient Romans. 2,000 years ago, they were able to conduct plumbing.
Yeah,
They had
that
plumbing. They
still
had
exists and functions
baths.
today.
There is plumbing. Like the Di Trevi fountain is
Hmm.
still functioning on
Yeah.
the same ancient aqueduct
Yep.
it was constructed on 2,000 years ago.
Oh, it's more than 2,000 years.
Yeah, well,
I
the
mean,
thing is, we were able to do a lot of stuff that we don't give ourselves credit. Like
yeah.
there's that um ancient computer mechanism that everyone thinks is too advanced for the time of ancient Greece. No, it's not. People were navigating. They had rudimentary computers that helped them calculate
Hmm.
uh, uh, currents and calculate the star movement and all that kind of stuff. And this was a clockwork device, of course, but it's not that much far-fetched.
Are
We
you talking
suddenly
about the thing they
associated,
found in the Mediterranean?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Antikythera device or something
Right,
like it.
right,
It's
yeah.
like that's not alien stuff. Like
But it
people,
used to
what?
be alien stuff.
It's wishful thinking. We like conspiracy theories, but like in
Gotcha.
reality, this was a common item. This one specifically was just preserved due to circumstances where it was sunken and what it was made of, and the thing survived. Like if they all made them in the same stuff, they would probably find more of them. But it was probably someone who could afford making a custom one-time thing, and it just survived, and that's it. It's just nothing magical or supernatural or like alien about it.
You know what would be really funny?
But
Way back then, when the person who was developing that device was putting it together and realized, hey, how about if I make it super intricate and throw it into the water where I know it's going to survive for a while and just mess with somebody in the future? And yes, people would
Me.
do that. People would totally do that. My dad would have done it in a heartbeat. He loved messing with people.
I'm very curious whether like we are so obsessed with the future and what's gonna be in like 100 years, because we've seen the development of human civilization for the past 100 years that went really far. Like
Hmm.
I'm still like mind boggled that like 100 years ago computer was an unthinkable thing, and suddenly
No, it
we do
wasn't.
micro. No, no, I mean like a computer like microchip, like
Well, maybe a
microcellular.
microchip, but the concept of a
Oh,
computer dates to the 1800s with Babbage. And prior to that,
yeah,
they were absolutely using the equivalent of programming cards with the Jacquard looms. Because they
yeah,
used.
but what
Uh,
I mean is a microchip. The miniaturization and the electronics today, like, I'm sorry, foldable screens. That's not something I thought would be possible 20 years ago or 30 years ago when I was a kid. And mobile phones started to be a thing. No one thought you could fold a monitor, and now we have TVs made out of foil that you can roll up and move about. And like,
no,
I'm
you're
sorry,
not
that
coming up here.
my
Sorry. Loki's going,
my
but
brain
when you
is
come
like
up on your lap, Mom. No, it's hot. You're not coming up here. Chill.
it's like completely mind-boggling
It
thinking
is.
about it. And I feel like I'm already the dinosaur data because like sometimes this is I see kids doing something I'm like, and we do this, we do that, we do Snapchat. I'm like, what the hell is a Snapchat? I've never used it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I
no.
have no comprehension. I don't understand the rules of it, and it's like, And I thought I'm pretty much up to date, and I keep on running into something. It's like, oh, okay, I don't think I understand how this works.
I run into those things, but I don't necessarily hold with that fancy new thought processing that they got there. I'm an old fashioned girl. Actually, I barely use Facebook or any of the other stuff because, one, everybody I know is dead pretty much, and the few people I do know who use it are all not necessarily people I need to hang out with.
Well, the thing is, I stepped away from using Instagram, Facebook. I mean, I do have the accounts. I'm able to log into them, but I don't because, like, Facebook has become a very hermetic thing where people just post stupid memes, and that's basically all I ever see in there. It no longer is like an information source to me, and when I was in social media, it was more like, oh, getting current info from like, I don't know, something I'm following, and I want to be in touch with it. But right now, it's just like, eh, no longer there. It's like people posting silly pictures and
I
uh,
use Facebook because Pi occasionally will reach out to me via Facebook, and my brother sends messages via Facebook. Not
oh yeah,
like
I do have
information or anything,
Messenger,
but
right?
it'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
so and so discovered such and such, or he'll send a picture of some car he's racing or something.
Yeah.
But that's
Like
it.
yeah. I only use. I mean, I have this account just to be in touch with some people that I don't physically am able to get in touch with. Mostly, it's like I would not ditch the other people that I'm friends with, but it's not like I'm reaching out to them anymore. Like if I don't need to, but it's still like just messenger and having the ability to like talk to people. Like I have a friend and her mom. I mean, I think I'm more in touch with her mom right now than her. She's got her life and a kid. Two kids maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of out of
Sav
the loop.
says Facebook is garbage, too much censorship. I don't, for the little bit I use it,
I've never noticed anything being censored, but then
yeah,
again, I don't think I follow anything that would be censored.
yeah, like I said, I get pictures from my brother when he's racing, and that's really about it for what I hear.
Yeah, and she's from New Zealand, so obviously we're like 12 hours apart.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to bed, I'm getting up, and vice versa. So sometimes just exchanging messages around that time when she wakes up or I go to bed. Um, and it's like, yeah, sometimes we just catch up and she sends me a picture that they've been somewhere and it's like, oh, this is cool. And I send her a picture of something. Oh, look at our winter or something like because they didn't have the winter. They live on the northern island of New Zealand, which never gets winter. And they're like, they said that it was so bizarre when they moved. As soon as they moved, they said the first Christmas was like bizarre. No snow, no cold, no sweaters. Where do you put the Christmas decorations? There are no Christmas trees. Like, what the hell? This is so weird. And I remember exchanging those kind of things with via traditional mail initially, and then email, and then now we have Facebook, right? But just like it's the only reason I still have it. I don't use Facebook anymore. It's been garbage for a while. They have so much invested in AI that I don't want to have anything to do with it. Meta is a garbage company that I think should be banned internationally. It's just like I don't want to interact with it too much. So like, right now, it's just like
No,
whatever.
I get that. Out of curiosity here, since I don't use Facebook,
Uh,
my
30
Facebook
Herald
currently
ships.
has a quick message from Pi and a picture of, oh my god. There's a picture of a moose caught in telephone wires in Alaska. That is what my brother has sent me on Facebook today. Now, how does a moose get strung up in telephone wires 60 feet off the ground? I'm sure you're asking yourself that. Apparently, they were laying out the telephone wires on the ground. The moose was messing around. They started to tighten the wires. The moose's antlers got caught in it, hoisted the moose. It's alive. They got it back down. But that's the total range of stuff I get in Facebook. Oh, and excuse me, there is a picture of Ethel Peaches there, too. It was my friend's dog. Yeah, that's it. That's my entire internet chit-chatting. Don't need it. I don't use it. Pi, you want to go shoot stuff with me? I have frigates and herald ships today. Sorry, I said Pi. Chris, would you like to go shoot stuff with me? Did I look in the Space Barbie channel? I did not. Sav and her 140 costumes. We were talking about you the other day, Sav. JB and I were saying that you are like the queen of costumes, the king of costumes, the empress of costumes. Excuse me one sec. Yeah, we try and get together once in a while since he doesn't live that far from me. Relative statement. He lives a couple hours north of me. But it's nice to go out and hang with him. And he's looking good, by the way. Best I've seen him looking in a long time. It's like he's got sun on his face. What have you got for things today, Chris, if any? Or is it all ground?
30 Herald ships and 20 Hark frigates.
Seriously?
Yep.
I got frigates and herald ships too. Perfect. I'm going to queue us up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, indeed. So let's
Nice.
queue us up for a little. Let's see, what have we got up here? I'm going to queue up a couple things. I'll do some gateway, some swarm,
Swarm?
and a little herald sphere. That should cover everything there.
I actually wouldn't mind some swarm.
Oh, shawarma is queued up.
I meant food-wise.
Oh, that too.
But, yeah.
That too. Well, Sav, keep it up because he is looking so much better than when I saw him last year. Before he got sick.
Oh, what? I got sick.
JB got sick this year. Got sick this year.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, he just looks so much better.
Always good. What the hell is wrong with lighting in Riser's space? Like, what the hell is wrong with
I haven't
that?
noticed anything.
What do you mean you haven't noticed anything? Every ship looks weird.
It's because I'm warping in directly from wherever. I'm not going in through space. I use the transwarp that brings you right down to the beach.
Yeah, there's that.
Mhm.
Still.
Sav says, I'm glad I met my weight loss goal. I have not met my weight loss goal. I've lost like 4 pounds in a year, which sounds terrible, but my...
You've also been building up muscle
yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time.
My muscle mass is way up and my body fat's on the way down, which is part of dealing with this new trainer. She
So
pushes...
body muscle ratio is probably healthier, but
yeah,
still.
it's like 0.5% off the ideal of where I should be for my height. We have a wee woo for Gateway.
Gateway to Grethor, Weewoo detected. Engaging warp drive.
Unfortunately, right now it's so hot, I don't feel like eating food, which keeps the ability to eat protein way down. It's like, ugh. Food.
Don't even get me started. I had a sandwich today, and I think I'm gonna be functioning on it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. It's so terrible.
I've just been doing a lot of protein shakes because you throw some frozen fruit in it, it turns into ice cream. Yay.
You know what's the worst part about this? Today's 36 projected. Tomorrow, expected 24, and then we're gonna go up to 28.31, and then we're gonna go to 23.20, and I'm like, what is this? Like, every single day has different temperature. This isn't normal.
It's kind of weather that makes you sick, just up, down, up, down, up, down.
That makes you sick, and it completely dysregulates you.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't feel like what is happening. I don't feel like this is proper summer, really. Because it just went up from, like, 16 degrees to suddenly 26, and now it's 33, 35, and I'm like, excuse me, where's the adjustment part? Like, hello? Give me time to get used to it.
No!
And the weather's like, nope, you're gonna burn now. I'm like, I don't wanna.
Sav says I cut out a lot of fat, cholesterol, and sugar, cut meal portions, and it made a huge difference. Yeah, that would. That would be an excellent way to do a reasonable way to lose weight.
Well, that's one of the reasons I cut out the sweets. I used to eat a lot of sweet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like because it's just highly energetic and cut out the need to eat too much.
Well, I have a great love for donuts, and I've been very fortunate because the last 2 times I got donuts, they weren't very good. It's just like, I drove 30 minutes to get a good donut, and it's just not that tasty.
It is a bummer, but on the other hand, I know they can work as a good deterrent from getting more
untasty food. Yeah.
That's why I moved a little bit to Japanese style of eating, more rice, more protein that is, healthy with more fiber, and adding chopsticks to the equation to slow down the process of ingesting the food.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been shoving it down myself, like
yeah,
and like paddling. Really, it's not too healthy, as I've heard, and I know that my stomach doesn't like it afterwards. So I'm like, maybe I should just stop it.
Sav says, especially sugar, since I found out I'm diabetic. Thankfully, I don't need insulin. Got my sugar levels to a manageable level. Do you take any meds, Sav? Just out of curiosity, because my son's on a med because he is showing signs of diabetes, but he's not considered to be diabetic yet. And they've got him on a drug that just messes up his stomach so bad. But it's caused him to lose a lot of weight, too, which is the good side of it. But if he wants to go out for dinner, he has to, calculate a week or so in advance to make sure it's a day when he doesn't have to take his med, so he can actually eat something without feeling sick. Which I don't think is a great way to spend your day. Why is my ship moving so slow?
Really?
Yeah, but if you feel constantly nauseated because of your medication?
Yeah.
Well, his isn't cheap, but the insurance company covers like 99% of it, and he's got dirt cheap copay on it. His company has
Oh,
very good medical.
someone's got a funny name. Definitely not a starship.
My engines are just not getting to speed. Oh, this guy's gonna go there. Fine. I'll just go shoot stuff. Oh, I guess I have my 30 ships. Oh well. $20 for a 3-month supply, that is an excellent price.
I guess I'll have to renew Netflix for a month now. And then again in August or September, I don't remember. Because Sandman Season 2, and that's suddenly second and only second sequel season to the show, is dropping today. I did enjoy Sandman Season 1, and I'm very excited for Season 2. Why didn't it pick it up?
What?
The green thing. The green gateway. I tried to pick it up and
Are you too close to somebody else who
let
picked it up?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. My pew pew is not terribly pew pew-ish today.
Are you running Tetrion weapons?
Yeah, I am. That's why. Yep. Must have had Tetrion damage yesterday.
Yeah, you had Tetrion damage yesterday, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I managed to set up my mobile AC unit yesterday last night.
Oh, that's nice.
Because the thing is, it has a kind of a pipe thingy, the flexible pipe that you throw out the window and it removes all the hot air from your house or your room, wherever you put it. Unfortunately, it seems I bought another piping that was supposed to be brand new and not falling apart that doesn't fit.
Oh no! No.
Yeah. So I had to use the old one, and I had to figure out how to stop it from like shredding and tearing into pieces, which it still does, but until I get a replacement, I have to work with this one. So I'm not touching that pipe until I get a replacement.
Good idea.
But I had to also like put a seal on the window so I can open the window without actually the heat coming back in. And that was a can of worms on its own. Luckily, I saw a tutorial on YouTube before how to mount it better. And apparently it's not good to attach it directly to the insides of the window, but rather to the outside outline of the window. And that actually works. It seals better. Because then the entire window also can be closed without
that's good.
the material getting into the mechanism.
So I don't have...
My window's a little bit different.
I have no windows in my bedroom. I have doors.
What?
I have huge French doors from the deck to my room, which means I cannot have the windows open at night, because guess who'd go running through the screen door as soon as they heard a squirrel?
Well, there are seals that are also now for those types of doors.
Oh, no. We're talking Pitbull. If Pitbull decides we're going through the door, we are going through the door.
It's non-transparent. It doesn't look like a door.
Oh, no, I like my door. It's wonderful, because, like, this morning, it's 4 o'clock, dogs are like, can we go out? Stand up, open door, fall back on bed. Dogs are happy. 20 minutes later, dogs come back in, crawl back into bed, I just have to shut the door. Much easier than walking all the way to the kitchen to open the door. But if I used to leave the door open all night long, and they'd be up and down every 5 minutes.
Yeah, they do dog-proof screens, plus they also make screens that have a small little thingy, like a seal at the bottom, so the dog can like
dog
go
doors.
in and out without ruining it.
Yeah, Sav says they do make dog-proof screens. Yeah, they're called doors.
I meant for the window seal for the AC units, like that. If you have doors instead of windows, like a balcony door, that's still workable to seal off.
One, generally don't need the air conditioner. If it's really hot, I will put it on, mostly so the dogs are comfy. I've got an
Yeah.
overhead ceiling fan that's very nice. I put on a second fan on my desk. Comfy, comfy.
Oh, ceiling fans are such a blessing.
Oh yeah,
I'm
mine
sitting under one right now,
mine are
and it's
old
just
and hideous, and I have contracted with a installation company to come out and rewire the house and put in the fans again and new fans, and they have new low profile fans that aren't. They had a theme when they built this house or when they redid this house of like,
theme.
I don't know,
I'm scared.
it's dark wood and aged fixtures, so they're kind of like blackish brown, and it's a small house, and this just makes it feel tiny. All the rooms are dark paint, and once Rise is over, I will finish repainting as much of the house as I can repaint. But oh, it's dark and depressing in here sometimes. Oh, are we done? We are done.
Affirmative, Captain.
Stop. If you put a squirrel on that side of the door and my dog on this side of the door, there will be no door. That's how it works around here. I wish that wasn't the case, but they are the destructors. I don't even open my downstairs windows because I'm reasonably sure they'll go through the downstairs windows. Up over the counter, out the door, out the window, through the front. And please don't tell me I need to train my dogs better. You are so preaching to the choir on that one. But they have a single brain cell between the two of them. And the little one is the smarter one. She will instigate things. She'll start yippee-yapping. The big dog will abandon her food, run out in the yard. Little dog goes and steals her dinner. Big dog comes back and goes, "Where's my dinner?" Are you a squirrel girl there, Miss Ov?
Like Marvel Squirrel Girl?
I don't know. Apparently somebody came to my door yesterday and the dogs went insane, but I was live streaming, so nope. Nopey, nope, nope, nope. Ah. Her hubby calls her his little squirrel.
Warning.
Oops, wrong one.
TMI detected.
Because I'm tiny and vicious. Yeah, okay, I'm going to totally go on that one.
Yeah, sure, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not because you're crazy for them nuts. I'm sorry, what?
Shh. Not going there. Not going there. Let's see. There we go. Now we got our proper build back together again. And now I have frigates, so I'm going to get some shawarma going here.
I crack myself up sometimes. I need a ship that's better for swarms of ships.
I have a skewed for swarm.
These. Yep. Exactly. Oh, I can't.
So, in martial arts, you got a woodpecker in the background? No, it's my fan sob. The woodpeckers you can't hear because the fan's running. And I'm leaving it on. It's a little toasty. But it is an older fan, so it tends to go whoop, 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 whoop.
Woodpecker in the background. I mean, I like a woodpecker listening to it in a forest, but if it would do that around my house, ooh, there'll be a gun at play.
So I changed the angle. If it's not better, Sav, deal with it. My neighbors have an issue with the woodpecker, which they know about. I didn't know they did, but I could hear a woodpecker someplace. And I was in the backyard one day and realized there are holes in my neighbor's siding. We have wood siding. The woodpeckers have punched a hole through it. Wee woo.
We were?
And made themselves
I mean,
nests
what did they expect?
in their house.
They made a house out of wood. What did they expect?
Well, all the houses here are wood siding.
Well, again, what did they expect?
No. You expect them to go for the trees, not the sides. So I mentioned it to them, and they're like, yeah, Like, you gonna do anything about it? He goes,
Yeah, because
after
the
the babies are
woodpecker is
born.
yeah, because the woodpecker is intelligent enough to figure out the difference between a house made of a tree and a tree, and yeah.
Sav, are you feeding into the if you feed rice to them that's not cooked, they can't digest it and it swells up and they explode? Because that's not true.
They don't explode, but they feel very, very full for a very long time, and they don't come back for a while.
Yeah, they'll stay gone for a long time. But if it were true, then all you'd see in Asia would be exploded. Well, yeah, it keeps them away because it's like, ugh, ugh. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, I don't think they like the rice.
Not uncooked. Cooked they like.
Takes notes. Because I've got pigeon infestation as well.
Well, apparently if you leave Sav's rice on your windowsill, that will take care of your pigeons. I was walking the doggers yesterday, and the guy who was walking maybe 100 yards ahead of me got dive bombed by a whole bunch of cardinals. I think it was cardinals. Anyway, you could see these things just going after him, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I'm kind of prepared for it as we get closer to that point, and they left us alone. So I guess dogs are useful for something.
The only usefulness I expect from my dog is to be my buddy, my baby.
Well, my doggers were just walking along, not doing anything, and the birds are just like, nah, we'll just go attack humans. Not doing doggers.
I was surprised that squirrels actually make sounds.
Don't they make like a high-pitched sound? I can't remember what it is.
I don't know how to describe it, but I was in my old neighborhood because right after I've adopted my fluff. I lived in a different part of the city, and it was like very close to a very old and overgrown park.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way to that park, there were houses of just private houses of people, and there was just an entire part of the neighborhood that was littered with those houses, and they had different kind of trees with chestnut and normal nut trees and all that kind of stuff, and you'd expect to find some squirrels there. Our European squirrels are adorable. Beautiful redheads, all of them. And I remember there was, on our path, there was a squirrel just munching on something underneath a tree, and then it saw my dog, and it was like, oh no, I have to run away. But it stayed on the branch above us, and I swear, I almost felt like in a cartoon, like was almost waving a fist and just yelling at me that I scared it off. I'm like, my god, that was the most hilarious thing. I heard it squeaking at us from the branch, and I'm like, I had no idea those things can make a sound. They are so skittish and so easy to run away. You never get close enough of them, but it was so annoyed that we were passing by and they decided to stay on the branch above us and
How
kept
dare you!
squeaking at us. And I literally just saw it like Chip and Dale kind of cartoon squirrel just doing how dare you? How dare you go through here? How dare you scare me off like that?
Which one did we miss? Sav says, when I was 18 living with my folks, I once had a little brown bat get into the basement somehow. I went running up to my parents' room screaming, bitch can be adorable.
Yeah, I like bats, but then again, we don't get those in the houses very often, if at all. So
No, we do not get them in the house very often, I will say that. I suspect they come on my porch a lot because I leave my porch doors open all the time. I have no idea why they put a screen door on the porch because it doesn't close all the way to the bottom and the top, so it doesn't keep any bugs out. Not when they kamikaze dive at your head. Yeah, I would imagine that would freak me out.
Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them. Earth ships spotted at escape route Gamma. Get over there.
I assume you have your Herc ships done, right?
Actually ages ago.
Yep. Just double checking.
Yeah, sure.
Head to escape route Beta. Protect the refugee ships. Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them. Herc Dreadnought on sensors. Careful.
Good morning, Cliff the Rebel Droid. And good morning to you.
Another rebranding.
No, he's been Rebel Droid on and off for a while. Like last month or so. Hey, since tomorrow is a holiday here in the States, there will be no show tomorrow night. Because I'm going to go watch the fireworks up in Carmel. Like a lot of towns here in the States, they do public fireworks displays. And this one is done in a public area, but the problem is to get there you have to find a place to park. And while there are parking garages nearby, it's a pain in the butt. So most people go and make a day of it, you know, park the car earlier in the day, walk in, bring food, get food there, whatever. But it's also right down the street from my son's place, so we're all going to go to his place, make some food, get some lawn chairs, and just walk down to the middle of the street, which they've closed off, and we're just going to sit in the middle of the street and watch the fireworks. Much fun. Was the first Canada Day, Sav? If I remember my articles from the paper correctly? But Cliff the Rebel Droid, just so you know, we've started doing an afternoon show as well, from like 1-ish to 3-ish. If you want to join us then, you're more than welcome. Which we probably will do tomorrow, at least till 2:30-ish, because I promised Mr. Dave I would call him tomorrow. And if we get enough people paying attention to it, I may keep it as a thing for a while. Since it forces me to do something in the middle of the afternoon besides quilting, and the quilt top is done, I just have to bind it now. And then patiently wait for the baby to be born. Well, I don't know if there's more pew-pew because we wound up spending most of the last couple of days doing Ryza, but yeah, we can definitely pew-pew. More sunbathing? Yeah, that's what we call it. But it's hot. The dogs would love to be out walking, and if they go out walking in the middle of the afternoon, they're going to get hot. They're going to get sick. That's not good for them. So this forces them to just chill. We'll take our walks in the morning and the evenings. I really hate walking them at night, though. But they'd probably sleep better if I did it more. And I'd probably sleep better if I did it more, so we'll try doing that one. Not tomorrow night. Tomorrow night would be very bad for walking them at night. Apparently we have an ad starting.
Refugee ships heading down escape route Alpha. Protect them.
Well, come on. Okay, I'll go over there.
Turk ships spotted at escape route Gamma. Get over there.
But the game plan is, yes, we will be on tomorrow morning, we will be on tomorrow afternoon. And Saturday we are having a fleet party, which we're going to do a couple hours in the morning, take a break so I can walk the dogs, and a couple hours in the evening. I think that's what I came up with.
That's everyone.
Yay! Which will allow me time to go walk the dogs and feed them and not spend my entire day sitting in this chair. Boy, do I need a new chair. This is killing me. What did I decide we're doing for the party times? Come on, give me that button. Let's see, from 10 till 3 and 5 till 10. So it'll be a 10-hour party, but in 2 sessions. So that'll be good for almost everybody. I know DT is working, but I think he's got some downtime. And I do have 149,000 Lala Not favors, so we might be handing out some favors for those of you who need them.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. What else do we have to do here, Chris? We did frigates and we did herald ships. What else do you have?
I've done mine. I've got disruptor and ground to do, but
Oh,
I'm
nice.
not inclined to do it.
I've got Tholians on the ground. How exciting. But it's only 10, so it's just going to be zip over there, kill them, be done. Tell you what, let me break this up. I'm going to see what I've got on a different account, see if we got one more pew-pew in us.
What?
That it displays wrong.
I mean, every ship looks weird in this map. It's a
Beam
rule.
up.
It's
See
like
how it looks.
ISA. ISA has this thing as well.
Okay. I'm up in space.
What kind of my ship looks like right now? Everything is,
Your ship does look a little weird.
yeah. It's all white out. It has highlights in the windows, which it shouldn't have. It doesn't look as it should. Yours doesn't look
Mine doesn't
that
look
much
bad.
different because
Yours,
you have a vanity shield on.
Yeah.
If you disable that vanity shield, you will see what I'm talking about.
do I have a vanity shield on? No,
You do
I
have
don't.
an effect on you.
I do not have an effect on me. It's got
It is an effect from the basic shield. You have the
Here.
Tilly Discovery Mycelial one.
Okay, I've unequipped that.
If you right click on it, disable visuals. On that shield specifically.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's doing kind of a... Well, obviously somebody else is doing that, but the
Yeah,
does
once
look
the
a little
effect wears off, it does
pixelated.
look weird. Yeah, but whatever it is, there's something wrong with the
There's something.
lighting. I
Yep.
think that they haven't touched that ever since Light
Probably not. No,
2.0.
people don't hang around in space here. They get here, they check the car with the valet, and go. I do happen to have some Voth ships, though. Would you be interested in doing a little Nasorden with me?
Sure, can do.
Cliff, you interested in doing a little Nasorden with us?
The best thing to do, but yeah.
Well, for Voth
Considering the time.
ships, it's Voth ships. There's not a lot else going on. There you go. Invitation is sent. Once you guys accept, I sent you one too, Chris. There you go. Who just joined us? It's Graz. Good morning, Graz.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Like, bro,
Doing okay at the moment.
Good. Are you working today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's so weird. A lot of places are doing short days today because some communities do their fireworks tonight. Most of them do it tomorrow.
fireworks? Oh, right, July the 4th.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yep.
So the
Keep
reason
forgetting.
we used to do fireworks on the 3rd in Chicago because if we did it on the 4th, they had to have the police out there to, contain the crowds and all that because there would be hundreds of thousands of people downtown to watch the fireworks. And the police get holiday pay, and because it goes late into the night, it also becomes overtime pay, which means they're getting 4 to 6 times their normal pay, and the city couldn't afford it. So they shifted everything to July 3rd for the big fireworks displays. And back in the day, so let's zip off to Nasorden, if you would launch your patrols for Nasorden, because I can't launch it. I'm going to do it on advance just for fun.
That's my default state anyway.
Mm-hmm. So one year, my company that I worked for, Blood Bank, decided that our site, City Center in Chicago, would be open on July 3rd to capitalize on the number of people who would be going to the fireworks.
Nope.
Bad idea. One, if they were coming in to donate blood. Are you going to join us, Cliff? We're doing Aftermath Nasorden, but you have to launch it. It's Patrol, Aftermath, in the Nasorden system.
I did 150k with this one on Elite today, so
Nice.
not complaining about this ship at all.
So I'm working from, I think they were going to do 6 to 3, so regular work day. I get downtown, and I take the train downtown because I'm not an idiot. Get down there, set up. We have one person come in to donate blood, drunk out of their mind. This is like 11 in the morning.
Ugh.
We can't take a
Um,
donor when they're drunk. One, we can't, and two, they can't give informed consent, so no. So 3 o'clock, they wouldn't let me go home. I wrap everything up, pack my bags, since there's no reason for anybody to come down there, lock everything up. Cliff, come on over. And now I'm trying to fight waves of people getting off the trains because they have extra trains coming from the suburbs into the city to go see the fireworks. And most of the people are coming in between 2 and 4. So they got extra time to get drunk before the party begins. And imagine 50,000 people walking at you, and you're walking the other direction. And it's normally a 20-minute walk from my office to the train station.
oh god.
It was almost an hour, and I'm just absolutely delighted that there were so many extra trains running, because otherwise I would have been waiting for everybody to leave at like 7 or 8 to get out of there. All those drunk people. It was bad when the Hawks won the Stanley Cup and everybody was going downtown and I had to work, and it's like, no. Standing room only. Cliff, get over here. You have to launch this yourself. It was kind of cool, but at the same time, while it made for a strong memory, it's not one I want to relive. Thank you. Cliff, you need to launch. It is a patrol, so I can't launch it for you. That would be fun, though. Remote access to other people's stuff. Launch things for them and not tell them. Here we go. Let us go shoot things.
Leveling up the ship.
No, I have 30 bath to kill.
Ah.
Just want to get all this stuff done so I can get back to Ryza and do the important stuff today. None of this pesky Endeavor stuff. And I've already done my endeavors for... not my endeavors, the event stuff for the day. Well, this is a good one if you have Voth, but you don't want to go to the battle zone. Typically, on normal, it drops 27 ships.
Why do you not want to go to the battle zone?
Because it takes forever to spawn something, and whenever you come to get those Vath ships, it's usually in the final stage where there's no Vath at all.
Yeah.
And you have to wait for 5 minutes before the entire thing restarts. Ugh.
Actually,
What
if
a
you
time
get
for
to it
that.
when they're doing the swarmy thing, everybody's killing everything so fast you don't get credit, but you can usually
Yeah.
send somebody a message going, hey, can we team? Because I need the kills. And it doesn't take away their kills or their damage, and most people are pretty good about that. Better than back in the olden days when you had to fight for the kills. Did you get oofed, Cliff? You okay?
Oh, they warped her in right into my face.
Well, that just makes it easier for you. They're right there.
That's rude.
I guess I got my 30 ships. So at the bottom of my screen, I get a chyron that's got bits of a news feed of what's going on. So it'll say like breaking news or video highlights or today's weather. Or sometimes it gives you a little bit of the actual story. So what it was showing a moment ago was aliens attack Earth. What? Well, it turns out it was a description of a video game review, but it didn't say that in the little two-word encapsulated thing. I'm like, what? What? Why is this not on the news? Like the breaking news?
Yeah, that would be usually a very important item.
You would think. I mean, I'm oblivious to news, but I would have noticed that one, I think.
Yeah.
I died. Well, I didn't get hurt, so I
There.
guess that's fair. I mean, I might not have noticed it, but somebody would have called and said, "Hey, Mom, did you know that the world exploded?" Oh, no, thanks for letting me know. Appreciate that.
It's like, hey, turn on CNN, turn on Fox News, turn on MSNBC, turn on whatever news.
Ooh, they got Cliff, too.
Whoa, what the hell?
They got you. Hey, they got us all.
I don't understand. This has never happened. Someone's got this on Elite or something?
No, it's on advanced, but it's also with 3 people, so it launches a lot more.
We've done that with 4 people, and I've never had this issue. What the hell is this wrong?
About the pains in the butt. They get pissy. Excuse my terminology.
You have to excuse yourself. You're the streamer.
Yeah, no, it offends people, and I try to be respectful of people's likes
There are
and
plenty
dislikes.
of more other streamers that we can go to.
Yep.
I feel like when I do a content, I want it to be a safe space that people come over, but I will not tailor it to like people who are overly sensitive or something. I want to feel comfortable when I feel like I want to swear. I will on my stream, but that's my stream.
Well, I
fully
taught
respect
little
what
kids
you're
for years and years and years, and I'm pretty good at not saying stuff, so it's become very easy to do it. Though I will tell you, I had a dream the other night, and in my dream, something annoyed me slightly, and I just started swearing at whatever it was in my dream. Just words I do not use. And that is a
We woke
weird
up and I'm
dream.
like, ooh, that was a naughty dream.
Yeah.
I mean, not even for your standards.
Uh,
Well, sometimes
these are words I do not use.
Your subconscious sometimes wants to let her rip.
It
but
sure
if it's not
did.
something you would do.
It sure did. It was just not happy. Mom's
know.
brain was not happy.
I had
So
a
let's
terrible
see,
dream
yeah.
last night.
Brings me back to space. Okay.
Space, the final frontier. Wait, that's wrong. It's not an
Oh,
opening.
no,
of a
you can
TV
ignore that,
series.
Chris. I'm beaming down.
I saw that.
I probably should go check on I got all my bird eggs started.
The
And then
what?
haven't followed
Oh.
up, so apparently I have a whole bunch of birds here to go deal with. But at least I got the pretty one. The passion wing. That's my favorite bird of the bunch. It's so cute.
Reminds me of a new episode with Linda and the other chickens.
Linda and the other chickens?
You know the link I sent you.
Oh, yeah!
Linda and there's Deborah.
Yes, yes,
Deborah being the Karen.
yes.
Yeah, there was another episode today I saw. It's the most hilarious thing. I'm so invested though.
I know, isn't it weird?
It's like a TV series. It's just, like honestly, some content creators like there's I remember his last name from Australia. He created this persona of a Hollywood actress that keeps being passed on all of the awards, including Oscars, even though she's been nominated like 20 times already.
Sounds...
She always like loses to someone else, and like this persona has become so embedded into people. Like he literally gets invited into TV and stuff, and like in that persona, it's like, what's her name? Pamela Diamond. Yeah.
Pamela Diamond. Okay.
Pamela Diamond. He's got the entire gig running, a dress, a wig, a makeup. He still got his manly beard, which is hilarious. Love that. Love that little touch that he always keeps on his usual attire, and like the acting on those, lovely exaggerated, absolutely hilarious. I'm having such a blast with that. And like sometimes you get so invested in those personas that people create on TikTok and YouTube that you feel like I'm literally watching TV series that is for free. This is like the peak cinema right now. I'm getting more
It
invested
actually is.
than an
I mean,
average Netflix show.
there's so much fun stuff out there that's a lot more creative, and it's done on a
Yeah.
budget, and so often you've got the shows where it's one person, one actress,
Yeah,
one
like-
actor, doing all the roles, and then they get really creative. There's-
Check out Nicholas Flannery on TikTok. He's doing amazing stuff. He's from the UK, but he does accents so well that when he speaks in either of the accents, I want to believe that he's from like the US or like wherever.
There's one guy who does send-ups of Meghan Markle, and to get into costume, he puts a mop head on his head. He's got a full beard and mustache, and he's just out there, and it's... Well, Cliff, we
sounds
expect you to
hilarious.
still be alive. We...
No one ever doubted that.
Yeah, really. Let's see, Passion Wing...
I mean,
yeah.
I know I didn't.
All right, I'm going to get out of here because I have tons of stuff to do today, and I want to be back in time to do the show. And I have to run to the quilting store because they will be open, but only for a few hours. Because did I buy enough fabric to bind this stupid quilt? No. On the Hilarious House of Frightenstein, there is one guy that did 95% of the characters. Yeah. There's one I watch. It's a woman called Lo Whaley, and she does advice for people at work, and she does it as a character, but also kind of as herself. But she's also started this whole mini series about working as a not temp but a contract worker at a company. And it's gone through all these really interesting things about business world, a sense of humor, but also good advice. And then there's one called Bistro Huddy, where one guy plays everybody in the restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, wait. The first one, is that the Toodaloo lady?
Yeah, Toodaloo Lady.
Okay.
I love her. When I was working, she had some good, solidly good advice.
Yeah, I think she recently got married.
She did, yeah, and she worked it into her storyline. Hey, Cliff, we all got blown up. You know, welcome to our world.
I'm surprised I got blown up. I'm in a very tanky vessel today, and that did not last long. That tankiness got
The
evaporated.
problem is the Voth with their reflective shields a lot of times will just redirect your damage right back at you. And their damage.
Yeah, they also have this disruption thing that completely bunkers your shields and maneuverability, which kind of is annoying as well.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to be gone for about the next 6 hours. I will see you all back here about 1 o'clock if you want to join me for some Rise of Fun. If we still need to do any endeavors, we can deal with that at that time. But go! Go, my children! Go! Have fun!
I'm at work for the next 3 hours,
Yay!
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours and then you're done. Yay!
I'm done.
It's all good. So as we like to say around here, have an awesome morning. Let's see. Have a great morning and stay moopsome.
Yeah, Moopsum.
Who are you? We are the knights who say...
Moopsy.